Hey there, it's Tuesday morning, and I'm getting ready to start my next project, which I'm not going to talk about. You'll see it this weekend, if it's done. Should be. Because for a change, I'm not making plans or updating plans for it. So, which reminds me, I've had a couple of emails already about where's the updated plans for the clamp, and people asking, well, I bought the original. How do I get the update for free? You don't get the update ever for free because I have to put time into it. I'm going to charge for it regardless. But I didn't bother in this case because, like I said in that last video, I still think it's better to build the parts that size. So if you want shorter clamps, build them using the original plan. Just shorten the bar to 12 inches instead of 16. I've also had a number of questions from people asking, like, why build this? What's so special about this? Why did I make this instead of just using what I already built before? Well, I've got some examples of what I've built before. Here's the first one documented online, as the red ones here. And these actually went on woodgears.ca. Just pictures of it, no video. I made a video talking about it, but that was back in my very early days. Video's still up if you want to go watch it. You can obviously see that this is a clamp, right? This goes back to what I said about in another video about, if you're a football fan and you're sitting beside someone, like you're watching a football game, and you're sitting beside somebody who's not a football fan, like myself, who doesn't understand the game and is not really interested in the game, and you see some fantastic play, and the other person is just, yeah, big deal. Like, this is a clamp and it works, right? But it relies on these notches in the bar to lock in position. And that presents two very real problems. First of all, it's in this position and your work is this far away, you got to crank the handle that distance to get there, right? So extra cranking, that's the big one. Also, these notches significantly lower the strength of this bar, especially if it's not a nice straight grained wood. This is hardwood, this is maple, but it might not be perfectly straight, as in the grain doesn't run completely parallel with the edge. If it goes uphill like that, then that will make it more likely to split. And these notches will really help that along, okay? So you're weakening the bar when you have notches, and you're also making it less convenient to use with all the cranking that you have, okay? So this is a huge improvement over that because you can just slide this right up to where it goes, push the wedge in, and start tightening right there. There's no extra cranking. And then to unlock it, you tap it. And that goes back to another thing I forgot to mention. I didn't forget to mention it because I used the same voiceover. This steel on the top here, I tried the clamp without it. And what it does, it makes the thing more durable. I don't think that that's really that, needed that much. But the big thing that it does is it makes it release better, right? Without that steel, you got to tighten up, especially if you got to tighten up real tight, right? And then you want to undo it and tap it like that. It doesn't release as easily. So that steel does that. That's the reason why that steel is very important. Along with it keeping the wedge in with the hook on the end. So, yeah, here's some other clamps that I made. This is my hybrid. I made plans for this one. This is a pretty good clamp. But once again, it has notches. And this is a steel bar, so that, like the notches here really don't hurt. Like, this doesn't really have a grain that it can split across. It's not going to split. It's just going to bend. But, this one's okay. It is a little bit finicky to get it into those notches, so that's the reason why I didn't, I made plans for it, but I didn't make any more because they didn't like using it, right? It's a good option if you're into, if you want something that's lighter then I don't have any over here. Lighter than the standard medium duty clamps that most people would use for woodworking, then this would be a good one here. But then again, this is all you need. So forget about that one. I'm leaving the plans there for people that want to, you know, experiment with it or try it. Here's another one that I made before that. This one was interesting. I thought of this method of locking the thing on a trip up to a job up north. You know, I was sitting there with my brother. We're driving up there, and I'm talking about, you know, what you could do to make clamp infinitely adjustable, like this one is with the wedge. And I came up with this threaded rod idea. And there's another piece of threaded rod in the moving jaw that locks into it. So you can bring it right up to where it goes and then start tightening it. There's still a little bit more cranking because they have to tilt it ahead in order for it to clear the rod. And then when it settles back in, it leaves a gap up there. So you have a little bit more cranking, but it does lock in very positively. Now this one's good, but it's complicated to make, as you can imagine. I had to notch the edge of the bar. I had to bend the rod around here so it would hook over. The other way is to try to hook it on somehow like I did over here with the nut. And it has to be done like that, otherwise it will flex and it will break free of the edge of the thing because it's also glued in. So a lot more complicated than it actually needs to be. Here I have another one. This was an experiment, actually. I didn't make plans for this one because I just tried doing it to see if I can make one that's very similar to the locking plate type thing. And this one has a locking plate in here. But the big problem, like everything else here, is fairly straightforward to make. But the big challenge here is to make the hole, the slot, in that locking plate the exact right length to lock onto that bar, because it's not as easy as it seems, okay? And then I've got a spring in here. This is a wooden spring that's meant to push it forwards so that it will lock, and it does when I take my finger and push on it, but I'm not getting the same spring pressure now that I had before. Like it's an infinitely adjustable clamp, very much like the wedge, but to get it to actually lock, you have to push it out with your finger, and then it will do that, okay? So there's that one. I've made several more as well. I made a big clunky one, very similar to this, and it had the bars, like the notches on the bottom, so that splitting wasn't as much of an issue. It still had the cranking problem, but splitting was mitigated to some extent, because the forces at work here is you have tension on the top of the bar. I'll orient the clamp correctly so you'll understand what I'm saying. You have tension on top of the bar, which is pulling, and you have compression on the bottom of the bar, which is pushing. And it's very, like, if you've tried to, okay, you can take this piece of wood and fairly easily break it, because it's weaker in tension than it is in compression. That's the case for most materials, like other than rope, say, or chain. All right, they're stronger in tension than they are in compression. Although I don't know. I'm talking physics here that I'm not exactly clear on, okay? So I'm not a physicist. But that's the idea. You move the notches to the bottom. It takes that tearing component out of the top of the bar. It also leaves the top of the bar nice and smooth, which is another advantage. But it didn't get rid of the cranking problem. Now you can move the notches closer together, and I determined that. And hang on. So that brings me to this clamp here. This is my long wooden bar clamp. Plans are still available for this on my website because I left them there. I still, like, I can see some people not trusting, because that's the way people are. Even if you show it to them in a video, they still don't trust it. Okay? It's that issue I talked about before about being in the middle, as in you have you have just enough knowledge about something to make yourself dangerous. So they probably wouldn't trust the wedge and would prefer to have something like that. And then the other thing is I made the wedge type longer ones from softwood, so they probably don't think you can make it from hardwood. Believe me, as ridiculous as that sounds, it's true. Anyway, so here's this one. And these are good because you just slide them ahead. They'll basically go back to the last notch or the closest notch and, you know, clamp in there, but you still have a little bit more cranking. It's not as much as this though, because the notches are spaced, I think these are 3/4, and then I later determined that that could be reduced to 1/2 inch. But then you have to go through the trouble of cutting the notches, and these ones are fairly shallow. That was the other advantage of this. They're very shallow so that they don't have that tearing problem with the deeper notches. I probably could have done this with shallower notches as well. But you know what? It's a progression. You don't start with the best design. It's completely arrogant and foolhardy to think that you can start with the best design possible and assume that you don't have to take it any further. I've never been like that. I've never been like that. I've always said to myself, this is the best I can do now. Not because I'm not capable of doing better, it's because I haven't seen all the possibilities. Because even the best thinkers tend to get in a track. As in, they'll look at something and they'll say, this is the way I have to do it. And it kind of bars other possibilities. Because they've already solved that particular problem. So they can move on to the next one. You understand? It's like a chain. And it's only by finishing the thing and actually using it that you get some insights into like how it can be improved. So that's been the progression. I mean, I've left out a lot of clamps. I even made one from a piece of rebar, for God's sakes, but that was more of a novelty. And here's the one I made from steel, which works on the same principle as this one right here. It has the threaded rod along the edge, so infinitely adjustable. Fairly strong too, but ugly as heck, you know, and heavy. It's way heavier than this. You know, I'd much rather use this. This is such a pleasure to use. And I've determined where the weak point on this is. It's right here on the bottom of this. Now that can be improved, and I'm thinking about revising the plan actually to make the bottom part here thicker. Thicken it out to, or wider, I mean. Well, thicker, whatever. From 1/2 inch this way to 3/4. That'll give a better grip on the side here. Another way possibly is to get a pin through there. But the strength of the pin is highly dependent on how much material is on the other side of it. You know, if you put a steel pin, steel is real strong. You put a steel pin through there, it's going through the piece in the middle here, yes. And the thing is pushing on that, yes. But it has to have enough meat on the other side of it, like on the bottom side down here, for it to keep it from pushing through. And this being long grain this way, that's fairly weak. So I thought about a couple of different things, almost like a angled spline, like just towards the front. And I was going to try that with one, actually, and see if that, like, push it to the breaking point. But the point is here that you know where it's going to break. It's probably going to break right here. And it's not going to be a catastrophic break. It's going to be a split that happens there. I already broke one. I pushed it that far just to see how bad the break would be. And all there is to it is to force it open, get some glue in there. My recommendation at that point would be epoxy, and then clamp it back up in the same position so it's fixed. So you make them, you can fix them, you can make new ones. That's the beauty. And these will last for years. Watch my videos coming up, all right? See if I'm not using these for years to come.
Do you think anybody thinks I'm a failure because I go home to Starla at night? Forget about it.